Thank you, Mr. President. Last week, hundreds of farmers and ranchers from all regions of our country, representing operations of all sizes and all the major crops, traveled to the Capitol to encourage us to pass a stronger, farm-focused farm bill before the end of this year. I met with many of these individuals, and I'm grateful they took the time away from their families and their farms and ranches to tell us what is at stake if Congress fails to pass a farm bill this year. For these farmers, this trip came with the additional stress of being away from farm at the height of harvest season. Their visits clearly articulated the anxiety gripping farm country at this crucial moment. For the past few months, farmers, ranchers, the organizations who represent them, and the agricultural banking sector have all warned of an impending crisis in farm country. Producers are struggling to make ends meet in an environment where costs for farm inputs have ballooned from inflation, interest rates have doubled, and market prices are far below the cost of production. Coupled with consecutive years of losses, the financial stress borne particularly by our row crop farmers is now being revealed. The reality is there will be fewer farmers in 2025 if Congress does not respond. We have been warned that many farmers will struggle to secure operating loans for next year. This is a devastating realization. The outdated farm safety net they are operating under is doing nothing to address these realities. That is why the Senate needs to take two immediate actions. First, we need to provide emergency assistance to address the economic losses that farmers are facing associated with the 2024 crop. Even with record yields, farmers are still not breaking even. This is not a crisis that they can handle. They, in any way, insure themselves or conserve their way out of it. Farmers across the country need a bridge to help their family farms survive into next year. We've seen previous ad hoc assistance programs established in a period of weeks, as demonstrated by the then Secretary Perdue when COVID-19 pandemic created disruptions for producers. That level of timely and urgent response by Congress and the administration is once again warranted. In southern states like Arkansas, Mississippi, and Texas, many producers have harvested their 2024 crop, and many are losing hundreds of dollars per acre of ground they farm. That same experience is beginning to creep into the Midwest and northern states as harvest begins in these regions. What do losses of this magnitude actually translate to? Not only are producers not able to pay their bills, but they won't be able to secure an operating loan for next year's crop, let alone have any income at all to survive on. This has a devastating ripple effect on rural businesses and communities. Now, let me be clear, emergency assistance does not reduce the need to make meaningful investments to the commodity and crop insurance titles of the next farm bill. In fact, the clear necessity of providing ad hoc assistance for economic losses demonstrates how inadequate the 2018 Farm Bill has become. The next Farm Bill is the appropriate place to make the necessary long-term corrections to our farm safety net, but farmers need timely support addressing the 2024 losses as they enter the winter months when they make planning decisions and secure financing for the upcoming crop year. Which leads me to the second action Congress must take. We must redouble our efforts to pass a farm bill before the end of the calendar year that meets this moment, one that provides the support our farmers desperately need to stay in business. I'm committed to sitting down with my counterparts for as long as it takes to hash out a deal that our members can support. I was encouraged to see House Ag Committee Ranking Member David Scott make a similar appeal last week. I know our respective chairs are eager to pass a bill this session in Congress. The window to make this happen is closing quickly. Our family farmers are staring down a crisis that is growing more dire by the day, and many fear that the Senate simply doesn't care about their plight. Mr. President, you and I both know, and you as one of our stellar members on the Ag Committee know that that's far from the truth. I know my colleagues want to make sure, all of our colleagues on both sides of the aisle want to make sure our farmers can continue to produce the safest, most affordable, and most abundant supply of fuel and fiber in the world. But without action, it's an understandable sentiment. We have been sounding the alarm on this brewing crisis for many months. It is the very reason we have been adamant about the need for more farm in the Farm Bill.